One of the most important items in the configuration menu, and honestly, the first thing that you should do when you get into the software, is to look at your security templates, making sure that you have the prepare profiles determined and defined based on what you want your preparers to be doing. Now, you will have permission sets that will probably already be pushed down um, based off of prior experience and based off of um, what's already set up kind of as default in the software. You'll have a preparer login, an admin login, an office manager, a data entry, and so forth. Now, going ahead, we're just going to go ahead and look at these and click into edit. And as you can see, anything that is checked generally means they do have access to it, or and in some of them there's a couple of the items that are actually kind of oddly worded, because that was the easier method to actually program it. So if you go through all of these, you can see that if you hover your mouse over them, they will give you an explanation as to what they are for. So add and edit preparers. User can add and configure preparers. If you don't want your preparer to have access and the ability to do that, then you wouldn't give them access. Do you want to allow them the list or not? Deleting scanned documents, also something that is new into the program this year. The ability to restrict your preparers from deleting scanned documents. Mark a return complete. Do they have access to do that? Override a return's minimum preparer fee. Do you want them to be able to dip below one of the configuration items in your office? You say, at, under no circumstances are we charging less than $100. Okay, so as you go through these items, you're going to want to make sure that they are set to the way that you want them to. I strongly suggest you even creating a preparer login for you to test and to assign yourself these different preparers. So once you've created this and you've determined that this is what you want to assign to your preparer, if you haven't, or maybe you've already created that preparer record before you did that, you can still go in and assign this to your users. So if I want my user to now have this template, I can go through, click their names, and then click continue. And that would then assign it to them. So if you haven't watched the setup a preparer video yet, this will kind of be a supplement to that. But in the preparer setup, you have the ability to, within that screen, select their security template. But if you do things a little bit out of order, which is fine, get it done, and then we can go back and fill in those blanks. And this would be an easy way to do that. Once you've assigned that to those users, it's very easy for you to view who has what security template. So you can go in, you can see what it authorizes them to do, kind of in a list view, which this for me is very easy to go through and look at as compared to the grid view. And you can see that these two guys or gals now have access to that. Okay, so those are the assigned to users. So those are the items that I wanted to run through. Again, where we were was in the configuration menu under the security templates item. That is where you're going to go and set up those user permission sets. You may or may not already have everything you needed set up in there just by default, or you may need to add one based upon the particular way of doing things. Hopefully this was helpful, and look forward to working with you guys. Thanks so much.